Hello, my name's Paul Quine and I'm standing for election in the Douglas South by-election on Thursday, August the 27th.
Now, as we've reiterated a few times, that this is a short term if whoever's elected before the next general election of 12 months. So your absolute top priority, because that's what people are going to want to know what you'll be focusing on.
I think we need to focus on local issues. There's been various issues highlighted to me over the last month or 6 weeks as I've walked around the constituency and met many people, and through no one's fault, of course, because of the perceived lack of representation over most of the last year, then there's certain issues that haven't been addressed. So these are the things that I would look to take issues up on people's behalves and hopefully try and get some movement on them.
You've discussed a number of issues in your manifesto, one being you support the idea of reopening the Douglas to Peel railway line. That's an idea that's been sort of raises periodically, really. But how would that work for you? And have you looked at the potential cost of it?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, the cost was put down as £1 million a mile a few years ago. So, I mean, if we're going to be serious about the environment, the major thing we can do on the island is start taking the cars off the road. Not only does that improve the environment, but it also improves the quality of life for a lot of people in the Douglas South constituency. So what I would be looking at is a good modern electromotive commuter service. I'm lucky enough to have done wide-ranging travel during my time, and I've seen how such things work so well in places like Singapore. So I don't feel as if there's no reason that we shouldn't have it here on the island.
We're discussing the importance of the environmental side of that. By doing that, you would be cutting away a big stretch of wildlife that is used at the moment for walkers, hikers.
On the cycleway, do you mean about that, Alex?
In the area the old railway.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, railways are a haven of wildlife in the hedges and that adjacent to them, the same as airports. Really, I mean, it's a bit of an unknown fact that wildlife tends to flourish around such areas. And as for the cycle path, then there's no reason why a cycle path couldn't be constructed adjacent to the railway line and fenced off, obviously, for safety.
While speaking about local issues, that seems like a more broadly speaking a national issue. Are you a politician at heart, or are you keen to be an MHK?
Well, yeah, a big mixture of both, really. I think the national issues are obviously things that I'd like to highlight. Ostensibly, what I've spoken to about to people in the constituency are the local issues, but my background's commercial aviation, and I feel that we need to look at addressing the situation regarding the island's airlinks. I feel the island has been in the past certainly poorly served, and there's no accountability, and we need to look to address this in order to grow the economy post-COVID.
And would that be to provide more air links with smaller airlines or bigger ones, more global?
No, what we need to do, I think, is take the matter in hand, either ourselves or enlist a good, competent professional carrier to operate them on our behalf. But I fundamentally feel at this time we could look to re-establish our air link with London Heathrow. Over the 15 years, say, from 1985 to 2000, the Isle of Man enjoyed year-on-year economic growth, and that was powered by Manx Airlines, ostensibly through the London Heathrow link. Had we not have had that link, then we wouldn't be where we are today. So, post-COVID, I think to grow the economy, we need to look to emerging economies, particularly in the Commonwealth, places like Malaysia, Singapore, emerging economies in Africa and Canada. And through that, we can link through London Heathrow and enable business to have a direct link from where they are through Heathrow and onto the Isle of Man.
Well, last summer, Flybe, of course, before it went under, was providing a temporary Heathrow service, and it didn't seem to be financially viable for them for a number of reasons. But what airline do you believe would actually benefit from serving from Heathrow to here?
Well, we could look at establishing our own carrier. I feel we have the expertise. Obviously, with a lot of people who are ex-Manx Airlines, I was only talking to somebody in the constituency who worked for the financial department of Manx Airlines yesterday. So he was off a similar opinion. We have the expertise, we have the engineering setup, we have the airport, we have the skill base. And I feel it would be excellent if we could at last have the certainty of good established air links from the island, serving key points in Scotland, Ireland, and of course across in England as well.
Just finally, then, you said that you're a local politician. You're aiming for the local support. How What's the response been like so far?
Very encouraging. It's been very nice. Like I say, I know a lot of people in the area because I was brought up there. So it's been very nice to meet some old friends and hopefully introduce myself to some new ones. And certain issues have been highlighted to me by people who I knew as a young lad who are now entering their more senior years. And there are a lot of issues who are affecting the older generation in the area, and sadly leading to, in some cases, social isolation. So we need to address these. Just the basic civic right of having a decent and frequent bus service for some of them.